Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. If you're a regular viewer to my channel, you'll have seen my most recent video highlighting an outbreak of an infectious disease in China over the New Year holiday season. The Chinese coronavirus, or Wuhan virus as some news media outlets are calling it, is growing rapidly, and so is the attention from the news media, governments and the World Health Organization. The number of cases have doubled over the last few days, and so too has the death rate. So I wanted to put out an update on the subject and to make a suggestion as to some cheap, simple items you might want to stock up on if you don't already have them as part of your preps. So let's find out. There are lots and lots of news reports, and new ones coming out almost by the hour on all the various news media outlets, whether that's local or national or international news. The purpose of this video really isn't to go over the endless articles and news reports that are being put out, but rather to give you some simple suggestions as to what things you might want to do and stores that you might want to stock up on in order to help protect yourself if this infection does get to the area of the country in which you're living in. The main thing really to highlight is whenever there's an infectious disease is to try and isolate yourself from the general public, keep away from the crowds, and of course that includes the local supermarket, which is of course why we do bulk storage of food. But the main problem with something hit the fan scenarios isn't actually the bombs, the bullets or the rioting. It's simple things like hygiene that are most important for you to pay attention to. It's probably hygiene that would kill more people in a something hit the fan scenario than anything else that might happen as part of that crisis. So with that in mind, I thought I'd just share with you a few items that you might want to look at. If you don't already have them in your preps, then get some now. If you do have some in your preps, maybe now's a good time to add to the stores that you already have. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that these few items are in my preps already. They're in my long-term stores and they're also in my bug out or get home bags, whatever you want to call them. Very cheap items, or they were. You might find over the next few weeks they suddenly become very expensive items. If you haven't got them in your bag or in your long-term stores already, can I suggest that you pop out at the earliest opportunity and get at least a small supply in. If you want to edge your bets a little bit, get a big supply in. Rubber gloves, very, very cheap, available all over the place. Little bottles of hand sanitizer, again, very cheap, get them all over the place. Wet wipes, these are tea tree ones because tea tree ones are a little bit of a antiseptic quality to them. Again, very, very cheap, get them pretty much anywhere. And then finally, face masks. Generally you have to buy these by the box of 100, but for 100, again, you're talking a few pounds, they're not hugely expensive. But if you take a look on eBay and Amazon, it might surprise you over the next few weeks how much these items go up, all because of the coronavirus outbreak in China, which is, even by media standards, going global now. At the moment, it's not a pandemic, it's not a massive threat to life, but over the next few weeks, it's only going to get bigger. And if it mutates, it might well become quite deadly. So just a thought, if they're not in your preps already, I'd get them in your preps at the earliest opportunity. As I said at the start, the purpose of this video really is just to give an update to highlight the fact that this infectious disease is spreading rapidly. It's gone well outside of China, it's in lots of countries now. Lots of governments are taking quite dramatic action by banning travel to parts of China or by setting up screenings at airports to check passengers as they arrive. So it is becoming more urgent that if you haven't taken any action now, you do take some action. Might be worth taking a look at some of the previous videos that I've done on the subject of pandemics. Also, might be very useful for you to look at some of the videos I've previously done on the subject of hygiene during something hit the fan events. As I've said numerous times in numerous videos, hygiene will become massively important whenever anything on the grid goes down or we have crisis scenarios such as a pandemic. So take a look at those. I've also popped some links in the description box to those previous videos, and also a little checklist of some of the items I've shown. You could click on those links to go and have a look and see how much they are and the various types that are available, and it might just be a bit of a prompt for you to start stocking up if you haven't done so, or to add to your stores depending on how much you already have. Well, that's it for this video. Short and sweet, but I really do urge you to pay attention to news media reports about this because it could turn into quite a dramatic and global event. Not fear-mongering, just urging normal precautions that preppers would take, and especially keeping an eye on the news in case anything comes to your area. If you found it interesting, do like the video. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. Any news that you have on outbreaks in different countries, then share those in the comments section, because there are people from a number of different countries that do watch my videos now, and thank you to everyone who does. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.